Hello!
Heyo!
Welcome to Beard and Basil.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. This is a show where we help you wholeheartedly serve your family with whatever you've got.
What you got?
What you got. And today's show is all about date nights, or date
Yes.
days, or dating your spouse, or soon-to-be spouse.
Yeah,
Girlfriend,
any kind of dates.
Yeah, dating. And it's definitely one of those things that you really have to just work with whatever you've got, especially if you have kids, small kids.
Yeah, whatever situation
Yeah, exactly.
you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for us, it's a challenge. We have 3 children
Right.
who don't like us dating.
No. They do everything in their power to keep us from dating. And it's been a challenge our whole marriage. And we've been married for 17 years.
17?
7 years.
Really? 7.
And it's been a challenge since day one, pretty much, to do it every week. And I think that's the biggest thing that we want to talk about is the importance of doing it every single week.
There was actually a survey that I read in some kind of blog a couple weeks ago that they surveyed like 300 couples, and one of the questions was, how often should you date your spouse? And I think I remember correctly, it was like 95% of people said once a week.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Every single week. But it's not that easy.
No, it's especially weekly. Like, that's 4 times a month.
Right.
I mean, obviously, but it's just like a week goes by so fast.
Leap months.
A week goes by so fast that it's just like you have to be intentional when you're planning it.
Right. It goes by and you're like, wow, it's time to go on a
date night again.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons, why dating is hard. Definitely like kids, what we talked about. But what we want to do is give you 4 ways to make sure you do it every single week.
The 4 things that we've had to implement in our marriage to make sure that we get weekly date nights.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Yeah. So the first one is you have to make time. If you don't make time, then your week just gets away from you, and life happens, schedules happen, kids get in the way.
Kids happen.
And you don't end up going on dates.
Right. Yeah, you have to put that on the calendar every single week. And it's best if you can set a day. And it's okay if the day changes like month to month, but make that the day no matter what. Yeah.
So ours is Monday nights. Weekends, we found that weekends don't really work because there's always something going on the weekends. And usually there's not on Monday nights.
Yeah.
So our night is Monday night.
Yeah. So that's what we do every Monday night. Come hell or high water. That's our date night.
You said hell.
Or high water.
Internets.
I also said high water.
I'm just kidding.
You said it too. I'll have to bleep it
Oh,
twice. Yeah, way to go. And that's what we'll talk about more in these other ways to make sure you do it every week. Is that no matter what comes up, make sure that you still do it. There's always going to be a reason not to do it, but what we hope to help you with is some ways to work around those reasons.
Yeah.
So number 1, make time.
Make time.
Number 2 is my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Number 2 is be less boring, and we argued over whether or not we should.
Right before shooting this episode, we
one.
were arguing about what the title of this one should be.
I think it's catchy.
And I wanted to say wholeheartedly love your spouse, and he said, "You are so boring."
I never said that. Be less boring. And this comes up a lot, definitely, when you're trying to do date nights. Every single week is, like we said before, the weeks go by quick, and then you're like, oh, it's date night again. We didn't plan anything. Are we just going to go do the same thing? And then it kind of becomes daunting versus exciting.
Right.
And it's like we're just doing the same stuff over and over. Like, this is boring. Like, I don't want to just go do the same thing and spend money or whatever have you.
Did you say that maybe to, like, give me a hint?
Hint about what?
Date nights, and I'm boring, and...
No, I didn't call you boring. This isn't about you. I'm trying to help them.
I'm kidding. I'm
Jeez
kidding.
Louise.
No, I understand. Like, you can get in a rut, and it's just not very fun going to dinner every single date night. And I understand what you're saying. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know. It's doing the same thing over and over is not fun. That's boring. So one way that we found that really helps is taking turns planning date nights for each other, and then it kind of becomes a little bit of a contest
outdo each other.
Yeah, like outdoing each other every week. And it's like, oh, wait till you see what I have planned. And like you can work on it and try something crazy. But there's a couple guidelines, right? Like around how you want to do it. You don't want to just do whatever.
Yeah. Well, and obviously, like you can't spend a ton of money.
Right.
4 date nights a month would be really expensive.
Right.
So.
You can't make it extravagant. But you can make it very intentional or wholehearted.
You're right. Thank you for using my word.
I used her
Love
word.
that word.
Yep.
So we take turns planning each other's date nights, and when we do, so like when it's my turn to plan a date night, my goal and vice versa when he plans one for me, our goal is to plan a date night according to his love languages or her love languages.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard about the love languages, look it up. There's little tests you can do.
It's by Dr. Gary Chapman.
Yeah,
it's a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a book.
And a test.
Yeah,
online.
It's a book. But if you look up love language test and go through that, it's super helpful just to know how your spouse feels loved or things you can do to feel,
because they don't necessarily feel loved by doing laundry.
Right. Exactly. What are you saying? Something?
Yeah. So, anyways, when I plan date night, his love languages are quality time and physical touch. So I make sure to plan a date night where I'm going to meet and like fill his love tank. I think he uses that word in the book, according to how he feels loved, which isn't necessarily how I feel loved. Like you could do all of the laundry on a date night for me,
and she would feel super
and I would love it.
Right.
But if I did that for him on a date night, he would.
Right. So yeah, the point is that when your love languages are different like that, you'll be doing things that it might not be your favorite thing to do.
Right.
But you'll get some joy doing that for your spouse.
Because you're loving them.
Because you're loving them, and they'll get so excited, and it's a lot of fun. And it really does become fun, like seeing how happy they are and excited. And then also, that the following week it's going to be flipped.
Right.
And that keeps things really, really interesting and a lot of fun.
And exciting.
Yeah, and exciting.
Because you get to look forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So definitely check that out. And there's a really cool website called The Dating Divas.
Yeah, and we'll talk about more.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more and some other ones too. And we'll put that link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
But they have some great examples.
Yeah, they have like lots of creative ideas that you wouldn't necessarily think about. Mm-hmm. So yeah, check their website out. We've used them. I mean, I don't think there's a week that goes by that we don't go on that website
and try to
see what
a new idea to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. They have
it is fun.
Free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then also with that, one cool thing that we do is that we post up pictures on our different date nights every week, and we use a hashtag.
Yeah.
Wherever we're at, whatever we're doing, it's just really cool to look back
and
see all the different things you've done and remember
the fun date nights.
The fun times.
The fun times.
Good ideas. So yeah, also if you're looking for something to do, another thing it's good to do is just talk with each other, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you don't well, I know I don't always think of what to talk about. Like we see each other all the time. And then when we go out to dinner or something, we just stare at each other across the table.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. It drives me crazy. So if that happens, it's just maybe get a little bit more creative with what to talk about. Goal setting is a great way to squash the awkward silence. And getting to know you questions, even though we've been married for 7 years, we just like last month we did a getting to know you survey, and some of the questions where I was like, oh, I didn't know that about you. So
right, and also if you've been married, I mean, chances are if you've been married for any number of years, chances are you've probably changed as a person a little bit.
That's true.
So you go through this period in dating where you're asking all these questions. No, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite this? And then from that time to probably now, you've changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's good to do this over and over and relearn things about each other and connect again. And it feels like you're first dating again, which is cool. Another thing is to ask, how am I doing as a spouse?
Yeah, this one's important.
Yeah, and this one's huge. And we try to do this every date night, no matter if we have something big planned or going out. If it's in the car or whatever. This is just a time to reconnect and get on the same page. And also a time to bring up any maybe little issues or gripes about, I don't know, laundry that may have come up.
Putting your clothes on the floor.
During the week. But it's a way to do it when you guys are like happy when you're not
Yeah.
fighting. It's best for those issues to come out.
And you're
on neutral
expecting
ground.
it. Like if I'm saying to you, "Hey, how am I doing as a wife?" Like
You're being vulnerable.
I'm being
You're opening
vulnerable,
yourself up to it.
saying like, "Okay, tell me
Right.
what I'm doing, not like what I'm doing well, and
Right.
then tell me what I could work on." And so it's a great way to
Have a little dialogue
yeah.
and talk. And when you
without being in a fight.
and when you expect it every week, you're going to think about it a little more what you say, and it won't turn into a fight usually. But if it does, it has
plenty of time.
It has, but even if you do fight, you're working it out, and that's going to be huge for your marriage because it was an issue and it needed to be worked out. Obviously, if it was worked out, right?
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a long one, but that was number 2.
Whew.
It's an important
That was
one.
a long one.
Number 3. It's your turn.
Okay. Number 3 is budgeting. If you are on a, I don't know, strapped income or whatever.
Fixed budget.
That's what was the word I was looking for.
Times are tight.
Fixed income.
Not a lot of
Or
cheddar
you're
in the
starting
fridge.
out.
I don't know.
Oh, man. So anyways, budgeting out date nights. And then if you don't have a lot of money, you can always do at-home date nights. And the website that we had just talked about, Dating Divas, has an entire section of just at-home date nights. Like literally hundreds of at-home date night ideas.
Literally.
So it's a great resource for budget-friendly dates. And
Yeah, it's all free.
even
they have printouts, games you can do.
Even the times like when I just would we just didn't feel like going out, you know, or like I was pregnant and crabby or tired or whatever,
Right.
you know, and we just wanted to stay home. It was a good resource to find something creative.
Yeah, or
to
if
do
you
at
have
home.
Newborn, we used this a lot when we had brand new babies, and like we couldn't really leave them with anyone when they're a couple weeks old. But you don't want to take 6 or 7 months off from dating, just because you have a newborn. You need to be on the same page more than ever when you have a new baby.
Definitely.
So this is a great one for that to do. And ultimately, it comes down to the worth of the date isn't determined by how much money is spent.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. And it goes back to like whatever situation you're in. Like you could have a lot of money and spend a lot of money on dates, but you never reconnect.
Right.
You know, so it's honestly whatever situation you're in, just be on the same page with your spouse and be intentional about reconnecting during your dating because that's the purpose. So whether you have a lot of money or no money,
right. Money isn't the point.
Yeah, money is not the point. The point is to reconnect, and you don't need a lot of money to do that. No. It's fun.
Yeah, do it once
and it
in a
mixes
while.
it up a little bit if you have money, but if you don't need it.
Yeah.
In order to
don't let it ruin.
In order to love your spouse, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's number 3. It's my turn.
And the last one.
Number 4. Ditch your kids.
Because kids ruin date nights.
Yeah, exactly. And we should say that also, just in case, if you're bringing your kids to your date nights, stop that.
Yeah, stop going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, don't bring your... Yeah, you can't go to Chuck E. Cheese with your whole family and then say, hey, babe, that was a pretty good date night, right? We went out.
And we got tons of diseases.
Yeah, we got the flu. Yeah, you can't bring your kids to date nights. So that presents a problem for a lot of people. If you have kids. If you don't have kids, great. Just go on your date nights, ignore this. Skip ahead to the end. But it can be hard to find a babysitter, or if you don't have family nearby you, it's tough. So
we've been there.
We have been there. One thing that we do is sometimes we'll trade date nights with
another couple.
So another couple that has kids or young kids, no money has to change hands.
And we usually do like Saturday mornings just because dinner time or evening or bedtime is really difficult on them to be without their mom or dad. You're important too, honey.
They don't care.
So, like we've watched a lot of people's other kids on like Saturday morning.
Yeah, any time you can do is kind of the key with this. You can't be too picky with whatever time you get. So just find a time that works for both you guys.
And there's
trade.
I know, if you're not like, I'm a little picky with who watches our kids, but there are things called babysitting co-ops that you could create with people that you trust. like in your neighborhood or with family members or
or through work or a church or anything like
yeah.
that. You could find a group of people and kind of do a co-op and trade date nights, which works really well. And then also, if you can't find anyone, if you can't afford a babysitter, you don't have family,
or you have a newborn,
or if you have a newborn, again, at-home date nights are really, really great. We're huge fans of at-home date nights.
Yeah, we do them all the time.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, sometimes half of our date nights for a month will be at home.
Yeah,
just because stuff happens and we can't, go out for some reason, and at-home date nights is what you do. But the key with that is just that it keeps us doing it consistently, no matter what. Just doing it every single week, all month long is the key. So, and
making sure you're meeting your spouse's love language, and your goal at the end of the night should be to make your spouse feel really loved. So if you do that, then you're good. It doesn't matter if you go out or if you stay home or if you have money or if you don't have money. You can do that without, all those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on your situation. So.
Yep. Just take whatever you have and put your whole heart into it.
Wholeheartedly love.
Wholeheartedly love. So there you go. And guys, if you have any questions or comments or concerns,
we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. So you can post up the comments in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. Email us, beardandbasil@gmail.com. We'd be happy to chat with you and hang out and do whatever we can.
We would love to come alongside you with any issues or anything.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Hit us up. All right. There you go.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.